All right, Chad, look at this interesting article. Apparently, in its infinite wisdom, the journalist and their editor concluded that games and studios are being canceled because of content that is perceived to be woke or representative, whatever that means. Now, here's the interesting part. Studios are not being canceled because they're perceived to be woke. Studios are being canceled because they're perceived to go bankrupt. No one is buying these games. You know, this journalist can't identify what wokeness is, and that's his problem, not ours. But there are smarter people than him, people that work at corporations and actually do financial analysis, right? Like, that's what they're paid to do, and it's in their interest to do it because otherwise they lose their job. And they realize, okay, these games are not going to sell. But here's the fascinating part that the journalist doesn't like to tell you, is that a couple of years ago, around 10 to 12 years ago, video games were canceled because they were perceived to be sexist or racist. Like, I actually know people that work at Blizzard. I know the guy who designed Jaina Proudmoore, who created the Draenei, like the artist, right? Like, it came from his head. And he worked at Blizzard since the beginning. And then at one point, the HR lady called him and said, we have decided to mature as a studio. Stop drawing like that. You know, make the tits smaller. Draw more shading. You know, make the whole painting a little bit more dark so that people can't see the tits. You know, just don't focus on her chest. Move it a little bit upwards. And he's telling me like how he felt his entire artistic creativity crushed by the corporation. And how people like him had to deal with this, while people that drew muscular dwarves, people that drew like naked barbarians and shit, they were fine. And so there was actually a time when game studios did indeed cancel games because they were perceived as being sexist or racist, whatever that means. And I didn't see the game journalists freaking out about that. You know, now they're freaking out, pretending that they care about artistic creativity, not because they give a shit, but because they want other people that do care about artistic creativity to come to their defense. But the reality is, even the people that care about artistic creativity, they know what's up. Like, they know that there's no artistic creativity at Ubisoft. There's no artistic creativity at Blizzard. You have bureaucracy nowadays. You got a list of do's and don'ts. And now because one of the list of don'ts has been added, and, you know, like, wokeness is still there, but, like, can we not dial it to 11? They're freaking out. Because it's all about the grift, right? It's the journalist friends, the journalist acquaintances that are unable to get jobs anymore because they're consultants. And that's the problem for the journalist. But it's his problem, not ours. Now, the interesting thing is they don't know what woke is. And so my talking point, whenever they say games and studios are being canceled because of content that is perceived to be woke, my talking point is like, well, how would the woke game look like? Like, what would you consider, right? Because, like, they always say, oh, this game isn't woke enough, or this game didn't fail because of wokeness. It's like, okay, fair enough. How would the game that failed because of wokeness would look like? Because if you can't recognize it, why are we even having this conversation? Go, educate yourself, you know, talk to Grok, talk to ChatGPT, talk to an AI, not a human being, right? Like just talk to a glorified search engine so that you don't have someone that lies to you. So that you can have a mirror, because that's what an AI is. It's a mirror to your own imbecility. And talk to different AIs, you know, like maybe one AI is bad. Talk to 3 or 4. And find out what wokeness is, because I'm pretty sure that you're going to manage, right? And once you find out what wokeness is, maybe then we can have an honest conversation. The reality is, like, people, it's not that just the woke ideology that's the issue, because, like, you can't have games that have woke ideology and they're successful, like Baldur's Gate, right? Like, eventually it happens. But it's the toxic attitude of the people pushing this ideology. They're fucking assholes. And they keep attacking everyone that's not them. Like, why would I give money to someone attacking me and my community? You got, like, community managers from hell. Like, the perfect example is Trench Crusader, right? Like, a board game. comes out, is really cool, kind of like 40K. A lot of people take interest in it, and for no reason whatsoever, calls Arch Warhammer a fascist, insults their entire community, bombards people for not wanting female space money, and starts banning them on Discord. And then the question is, like, why would I give that game my money? And the next question is, like, what type of ideology, like what thing in the universe gets a community manager to behave this way? Because it's not normal, like, it's not natural. Like, what causes a human being to become this toxic? And the answer is wokeness. And you see it once, you see it twice, you see it 3 times, and then you have to wonder, it's like, why am I funding an ideology that creates some of the most toxic people on the internet, some of the most vile people that I had the displeasure of meeting online? Why would I fund money so that more like those get created? And so if I see now a video game that is woke, out of fucking principle, I refuse to buy it. And so, apparently, they're talking about what I discussed last time about RuneScape, right? And how they're really ass mod, they're like huge, big ass mod over the fact that RuneScape has decided not to celebrate Pride this year. And my counterpoint for those of you who watched the video was like, well, the issue is that the players probably aren't LGBT friendly. Or at least they're not interested. Because, like, if the players were interested, they would organize in game, right? Like, nothing is stopping the players in a role-playing game to role-play like a pride parade. But what you want is you want top-down enforcement, which is another problem with woke ideology, is the authoritarianism. If something must exist because it's top-down, because it's like always constantly enforced, like it's not natural, you don't see human beings like organize themselves into the ideology, you need to constantly enforce it with moderators, with someone on top, maybe that ideology doesn't deserve to exist. If it cannot stand scrutiny, if it cannot stand public discourse, and you constantly need censorship in order to crack the whip, maybe it shouldn't exist. And this is what frightens them, right? Because like they know it's the death of ideology, not by being banned. It's not like people are banning players from celebrating LGBT. It's that they're not enforcing players to celebrate LGBT, and they're not banning the people that talk against it. And so they're thinking, well, without this, like, we can't have an ideology. And so, like, maybe you should have found a way to proselytize by convincing people, by being nice to people, rather by dictating terms and threatening people that if they talk against you, they get banned. Because when the boot lifted, seems that the ideology is going away as well. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.